Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite paranormal investigator here. My name's Tim Sedano. This is Paranormal Insight, and on today's show, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Chiefly, we're going to talk about aliens and hybriding with aliens and why it's happening, why they want to even hybrid with us. And my guest today, without any further ado, if you're ready to go, Joe, is Mr. Joe Montaldo himself. Joe, welcome to the show.
Hello. What the hell background is this?
I don't know, but it's goofy. I mean, it kind of looks like...
Okay, I'm not even sure, people. I'm sorry. I'm not sure where that came from. I don't use green screen backgrounds. No, I don't have no idea what that's about. Well, welcome, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I always love to come hang out with Tim and see what he's up to.
Yeah.
Figure out what kind of weirdness is going on with my camera. So we're doing an interview in my bedroom. This is kind of kinky, people. Y'all see some toys.
We just got X-rated, ladies and gentlemen. No.
Yeah, if y'all see toys laying around, don't blame it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not his background.
I'm just trying to help you out. So there's no. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Much better.
Yeah. So. I'm just trying to keep the man out of trouble. That's all.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot. But
you can't touch nothing on this computer.
Look at that one. That's
who
nice.
Are these people? I don't even know who these people are.
I don't know, but they're on your show, your network.
Oh, I know who that is. No, they used to be on the network, actually. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Joe, real quick, since we were talking about aliens and all that fun stuff, I'd like you to introduce everyone to ICARs.
Well, people, it's interesting Tim's bringing ICAR because ICAR is a very old alien abduction research organization. A lot of people always call it a UFO organization, but don't take this the wrong way to all my UFO friends. We don't really care about UFOs. I mean, we do, but we don't. I mean, they're not going to change anything in reality. I mean, look around, people. Do you see all this information the government's put out? Do you feel like you know if extraterrestrials are real? Nope. All I feel is more confused because the government's ignorant.
To say the least,
it scares me when most of the researchers on my station, I'm not even talking about on my research team, I'm talking about just on the station, knows more than the government does. I mean, it's anyway, we'll get into that later. ICAR is an organization that was designed to find out what extraterrestrials are actually doing here. It's we had already done a lot of legwork with MUFON to find out if we thought abductions were real. Our first 5,000 cases we got from MUFON, which were like pulling teeth, and it took 10 years to get them. And then we did a 5,000 case study that formed the first abduction criteria for ICAR, which is a way we can help know who's telling the truth and who's not. But so that's what the organization was for. Once we started going public, it got to be crazy because I can handle X amount of cases. I'm one person. We had 4 or 5 other guys. They could handle X amount of cases. So in our first year of existence, we had 200 cases going with 5 directors. Decent workload. By the end of the second year, we had 100 directors and 3,000 cases. We were kind of like, what did we stumble into?
Right.
This is 2 years in, people. So we're like, okay, we got to rethink this. So we slowed down on doing public appearances. That was before the network. And so we were just slowing down and saying, okay, we got to pace ourselves because there's just not enough of us. So we went on a recruiting thing and started recruiting more directors, more investigators. I made some calls to some friends of mine at MUFON. Yes, MUFON, I'm sorry, but I stole like a third of your directors and your people. I only took the good ones, by the way. I left the crappy ones for y'all. Still, that might explain why they fell so hard so fast. But anyway, so we bump it up. Now we got about 5,000 members, and we got about 5,000 cases. So that's only one case per member. We're like, all right. Now, not every member, in all honesty, is a director or investigator, but a lot of them are. So we're working out. So I would say it was about 5 cases. I'm like, okay, we're going through. We're setting up all kind of stuff, getting all kind of abduction stuff set up. We're going through criteria. We got questionnaires out the yin yang. We got stuff going all over. And then I get a phone call from a group who wanted to join us out of Argentina. Brazil. It was actually an Argentinian Brazilian group with about 25,000 people in it.
Wow.
They had done a case study of 5,000 human alien abductions, and they wanted to give it to us, the whole case, not just their findings, but everything that led them to their findings, so we could re-examine it.
Wow.
I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. So boom, man. I'm thinking I'm gonna get downloads. Oh no, I got like 30 boxes of shit came to my house.
Wow.
So we were storing. So anyway, we get all of that into the database with the already 5,000 we got from MUFON plus the ones we're working on. So now we've got like 15,000 cases. So we're thinking, okay, we got to understand what's going on, right? So we start changing shit. Yeah, we're brave people. We start changing stuff because we're finding things that were just what we originally told were wrong, and these things were right. And so we're like, okay, slow down. So I go on my first appearance on Coast to Coast. 660,000 people hit the website the next day. Our membership and caseload quadrupled in a matter of minutes. I mean, we didn't even know what to do it ourselves. We were just like, what the?
What was that?
So I'm calling friends. I'm calling in favors. I'm calling in fellow researchers, abduction researchers that have nothing to do with the organization. I mean, anybody, didn't matter who, even contactees. I said, look, I need help. So I started recruiting. Then I started calling people and bringing them on the shows like Yvonne Smith and Miriam Delicato and a bunch of the others. So I want, we needed to help. So anyway, so we're starting to catch up now. We got 15, 16, 17,000 cases. We're like, wow, all right. Nobody's ever done anything like this before. So we start the abduction criteria. We start setting up things so people can have an easier understanding what it is, why aliens might want to intervene, why their DNA is in us, blah, blah, blah. We're just, I mean, you name it, we're this deep into it, okay?
Nice.
Nobody's doing this. I mean, we're just buried in this stuff. So I go do a local newspaper ad in my local town. It's a living section of the newspaper. They gave me the whole page, which was cool. That's that picture. That matter of fact, hold on, where's it at? Let me do this. Where's it? Yeah. Here's the damn camera. That's that picture right there. That's that arc. Oh, look how cute I was. I saw
what a handsome man.
What a baby that face was. Let's just get that off the screen. I didn't even realize I was that young at one time. Shit, that's rough. But anyway, so she does the whole thing. So for the next 2 weeks, everywhere I went, people were asking me questions in the mall, the grocery store. It was amazing to me how many high up people wanted to talk to me. Like I walk in my bank. And the little clerk's giving me shit. You alien man. So please stop with your alien man, little girl. And here comes the VP out the back. Hey, Joe, can I talk to you? Yeah. He starts telling me about something he's seen over the river. Next day, I'm on radio, FM. So I'm talking to these FM guys, and they're all, how FM radio is. They're all trying to be smart ass. I'm like, really, dude? I said, I'll tell you what. I said, anyone who saw anything over Lake Pontchartrain on Thursday night near where the casino is, if that was this, give me a call. Their fucking phone lines. Ooh, excuse my language. Their phone lines just, boom. I mean, they just lit up, man. I said, too many calls to take. So he starts answering. Oh man, yeah, you ought to see it was just hovering there. And there's one after it. Now I'm like, what's the matter, dude? He's like, well, it could have been. Doesn't mean it was alien. I said, I didn't say it was alien. I said it was a UFO, which means unidentified flying object.
There you go.
You're the one with egg on your face, not me. And he. Him and the other guy got seriously pissed. And the more they tried to circumvent it, the worse it made him look. I was like, are you through humiliating yourselves now?
Right.
And then the guy goes, well, wait a minute. There's something familiar about you. Do you do radio or TV? I said, I do a little bit of radio. I said, I do a little bit of lecturing too.
Yeah.
He said, oh, yeah. He said, I was wondering because you were pretty quick with that. Right. I said, you should know that you're doing radio. You should always know who you're talking to. But anyway, so we're sitting here now, because really we're putting down information all over the place. Now we're getting credit for a lot of it, but a lot of it are just, I'm not going to mention no famous ufologists, Linda Moulton. Just to name one right off the bat. Oh no, let's don't use Joe's data and give it. And so this is the deal, people. Joe don't care if you give him credit. Okay, I really don't. I like to complain about it, but I don't really care. I get aggravated when you don't give it to ICAR because ICAR is not Joe. ICAR is a buttload of people who are doing a buttload of work, just trying to help abductees to understand what's going on in their life. We're not even getting anything out of this, other than the research itself. We're not getting anything out of this. Matter of fact, it costs us more money than we could ever possibly hope to recover. If you knew how much I spent on iCard, people, you wouldn't even talk to me anymore. No, I'm serious. I'm lucky Linda talks to me. It's so but no, guys, in the early days it was very expensive. It was a lot of travel and a lot of conferences, even though a lot of them got paid to go to a lot of them, and we were bringing people in with us. Anyway, it was just expensive. So here we are. This is 2005. It's after disclosure, so it's about 2004, 2005, 2006, somewhere over there. So we're approaching about 22,000 cases. And I went on, I had done that article, and because of that article, I got invited to a science gig, which got me another gig on Discovery Channel.
Oh, fun.
So I do Discovery. I do all three of these gigs in a month of each other, and they all come out within like a month of each other. Man, million and a half people through the websites. I was like, geez, next thing we knew, we were swamped again. So we jumped up to about 52,000 members after that, and we had an easy. Now we probably had 300,000 cases come in. Now, when you hear me say numbers like that, don't get crazy, people. First off, we got a way we go through cases to check if they're legit. A lot of these cases are submitted through the websites. If they're not completed, we don't look at your case. There's a thing on the website that lets us know if you completed it or not. If you didn't complete it, it gets deleted. We don't care what's in it; it gets deleted. And it tells you that when you take it. So, buyer be warned.
Yeah.
So, and there's other things we go through. And as we're going through them, because we have what they call proofreaders, they go through and they read them and then, okay, no, delete, because we have abduction criteria. So at 300 got down to about 87,000 cases that were worth looking at. Okay. Now, that's a lot of cases, man.
That is a lot of cases.
So then we weed through that, brought in some help from some other abduction groups, which fortunately for ICAR has been lucky with dealing with other abduction groups. We're all within our researches. I mean, there's things we disagree on, but when you get right down to it, we agree on far more than we disagree. And it's not like ufology where they disagree more than they agree.
Right.
In abduction research, we agree more than we disagree. So, so people want to get involved and they want to help because they're learning too. I mean, it's through us; they're getting research through proxy. So, everybody's learning. We're all getting stuff. But out of that 87, I think we got another 12 or 15,000 cases. So that puts us up. I think it was around 35,000. And we're like, now, so then we go through our first real hardcore, go through the case comparison study thing. Come back with all kind of information. So then we say, okay, we're going to do an information dump. So we start putting stuff out on our things. We start putting it out on the station. Coast to Coast invites us. We're going coast to coast to talk about it. I went on with Melinda Leslie. We went to talk about military abductions because we're the ones who picked up the military abductions after Carla Turner died. Melinda Leslie and I were the only ones brave enough to do it. Carla Turner was really the mother of military abductions, people, and she died for it. This was a woman who was perfectly healthy, comes out hardcore. She was a doctor, comes out hardcore on this military abduction stuff. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, and she was healthy. She had just had some work done. So she already knew she was healthy, been checked out, stage 4 cancer out of the blue. Poof, killed her with brains. Killed her with she's gone. Now, that would be that's scary enough it is, but it's prophetic because 5 years later, I've got 5 of my female hearse working on special projects for me, including my national director. All 5 of them got breast cancer within weeks of each other. I mean, literally within weeks of each other. It was devastating because they were all friends of mine. These are old timers. These were people who started out with me with ICAR, founders. Matter of fact, all 5 of them were actually founders of ICAR.
Wow.
So all 5 of them were, and then all 5 of them actually hosted a network and they did a buttload of research for ICAR. So I get the phone call and I'm thinking, I don't even know what to think about this. I'm not going to mention by name, but In, which is a good friend of mine, she survived it. And
good.
Yeah, she fought and survived. Last I talked to her, which has been about a year now, she's doing pretty good. DeAndrew, who was a good friend of mine, she's passed. It eventually caught up with her and killed her. It took about 5 years, but it killed her.
Wow.
She was they used to like to call her the check valve meaning for me because I was a spokesperson. So
I see.
she called me on the phone. She called me on the phone. Joe, what Joe? You can't just say shit like that. I'm like, no.
She'd be the finger wagger.
Well, she was like Michelle is for the station.
Gotcha.
Because nobody else would say anything to me. They were scared shitless of me. And I'm like, people, I'm not that scared. Oh no, Joe, we ain't telling you nothing. You'll fire a whole bunch. But that's how the host got started because we had gone on some stuff, but originally when ICAR started getting a lot of data, there was nowhere to go with it. There just wasn't that many shows out there. There wasn't podcasts like there are today and stuff.
Sure.
You can only do so many coast to coast or ancient alien appearances in a year or two. Sure. So we needed other venues. That's how the station really got started after UFO Undercover got on it. And then like November became a host. D became a host. D hosted the Eye to the Sky.
Oh, fun.
And November actually Voice of the People is one of the which we still own that show. It still gets circulated from time to time. Like News on the Flip Side was actually Stephanie Bonetti and I show. We started that show a long time ago. She was the station manager before Michelle. She's also deceased though, man. I mean, these people. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But anyway, so getting back to what we were talking about. So D and November's over. So then 3 other hosts called me and tell me about it. Teresa called. She said, "I got breast cancer." And they at first she was shaky, but then she pulled through it. So the other ones pulled through it. Only one that died was D, but all of them it took a major toll. And first off, it scared them beyond belief.
Yeah.
So 3 of them told me the same thing. I made a deal if I would start working on projects if they would let me live. And immediately I started working on projects and I started feeling healthy. Matter of fact, the N used to keep the project under her bed. She said, as soon as I took it out and got rid of it and sent it to you, I felt immediately better. I was like, now these are all comparison study projects they were working on. This is stuff that's through correlations through all the data we had. These were showing the similarities in cases, not the dissimilarities. It's the things that make us know that certain things happen in all abductions. And there's certain ways and certain styles and certain ages that different things go on. We learned a lot. I mean, it's not like we learned a lot. We still know more than anybody in the field by decades. And as far as the government goes, well, I've given testimony a couple of times, and I don't think they want to know anymore.
It's weird. It's like they want to know, but they don't want to know. Like they're so used to keeping everything at arm's length, they don't know how to get beyond that.
So who wants to know? Congress says they want to know, but Congress really doesn't do anything to find out. Have you heard any congressman petition Area 51? Let's go visit. They're going to tell them no, but they haven't even tried. They could pass a bill. They could get together and pass a bill saying they got the right to go to Area 51. Still, they wouldn't get to go, but they could try. But some of them might. I mean, some of them could maybe have a clearance well enough to go out there and say, okay, yeah, we do have aliens. But the government. So you got David Koresh up there telling the world, thanks to stupid Greer. That's another one that just burns my ass.
Good to know.
Well, I mean, think about it.
I get it.
He gets this dimensional theory, but nobody pays any attention to it because most people think aliens are coming through here just from space, not through dimensions.
I'm going to put this slide up because these are the 5 things that that Gresh mentioned. The 5 species: the Nordics, the Graysian insectoids, and the reptilians, and the plasmoids.
Okay, first off, I want whatever drugs David was on that day. He was on good stuff, man. First, he said they come through the portals and they just fall out the portals and their ship falls out and aliens fall out. And we've got like 75 crab and 175 aliens. I'm thinking, really? So, all right, people, you might believe that bull ass if you thought aliens had only been coming here since like the last 30 or 40 years.
That's not true.
But we know, thanks to ancient history, they've been here as long as we've been civilized.
Yeah. I'm going to put up another slide. This is from the 12th or 13th century. This depicts a UFO battle over a town.
Yes.
And even here in the corner, some of them crashed because they're burning up the fields over here.
Oh yeah, it's there are places throughout history where they've seen this. So people want and when people ask me where should you start when you get into ufology, I said in the past, and I'm like, why? I said because we've only been flying for 300 years, people. Anything before that's got to be like, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, it has to be spectacular and huge to be seen. I mean, the flying crosses, the flying shields over battles. That was my last thing. Well, battlefields and military bases have been the focus of a lot of UFO activity throughout history.
Over history, they're everywhere. I mean, one of my favorite stories is the one that's in the Middle East. This city had been under, I forget what city it was. Had been under siege for 3 years from the Greeks. And they just couldn't get in the damn thing. And then one day, and both sides report the same way. That's what makes it so good.
Yes.
This silver shield looking thing pulls up, parks over the front gate, and a big blue beam comes down and basically disintegrates the front gate. I mean, blows it wide open. And then it goes through, blows up 5 or 6 buildings in the city and just leaves. Of course, the people rush in, take over.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But both of them describe it the same way. And neither one took, the losers just said, yeah, this is what happened. And the winner said, we still don't know what the hell it means.
Right. I think one of them thanked the gods or something like that. But we don't know who.
They thank lots of gods. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we're not sure which god that was, but hey.
Well, no, exactly. That was the point. They said the gods. They were so nebulous about it. Was it Apollo? Was it Zeus?
But there was lots of stories like that. There was lots of things flying around in the skies for the last 6,000 years that shouldn't be there because, nothing was flying in the skies for that time period.
Right. I'm going to bring up another slide because I talked about this last week. This is from a cave painting. Someone thought we needed to have the saucers circled, but I mean, this is a poor resolution. I do admit that, but this is from a cave painting, like in France or something like that. I'm not sure the location, but I mean, we've been seeing them since then. Actually, we're as far as human documentation goes, since the time we were in caves. I mean,
so they've got one somewhere. There's one in Germany. I think there's one in France, and then there's one in America. This is what's weird. So I think the one in Germany is actually about 55,000 years old.
Yeah.
It shows 3 disc-looking things, coming like this. And then it shows what looks like to be a big herd of deer. And then in front of them, there's a bunch of humans. So the damn discs were herding the deer to humans. Well, that's interesting. Well, it's almost an identical scene in France. But the one in the U.S. is only from 5,000 years ago. Yeah. And they're herding buffalo and not deer.
Yeah.
But still, it's the same 3 pictures. I mean, it even looks like the same artist did them. I'm just saying, it's it is your guess as good as mine. But that kind of stuff is always fascinating. It's like old parts are always fascinating. Anything that suggests, and we got lots of new theories. Jay and I are going to be writing a new book because we'll have to bring you in on it. We definitely really think we figured out how the water and the people and why the cities are where they are underwater. Because no one can explain the coast of Cuba, 2,200 feet of water. That's
yeah, that's amazing. That
so
place.
You know how long ago it was when there was that least amount of water on the planet?
Eons ago.
So in order to get to that point, people, this is how the map works. If you take the map and go back until you get to the point where that city is above the water, above the water, because it's at 2,000 feet. So you get it above the water.
Yeah.
The Gulf of Mexico was empty. There's no water in it. Most of the Pacific was empty.
Was that like the Pangaean continent type of thing, or?
Well, no. You know what it was? It could have been Pangaea because everything was connected because there was no water there.
Right.
So when in order to get to that little bit amount of water in there, Pacific was mostly empty because we got to remember, people, the Gulf gets as deep as 14,000 feet.
Yeah.
So there was no water there, which means, man, where was the water? They hadn't gotten there yet. No, there wasn't no water there. The Pacific was empty. So this is what bothers everybody. To get to this point, they had to be virtually like the Atlantic did not connect to the Pacific. None of the oceans actually connected to each other. They were more like giant lakes than they were oceans.
Gotcha.
So you could walk everywhere. You know how they always talk about the land bridge between Russia and Alaska?
Sure.
Screw that. The whole thing was a land bridge. You could walk from and it makes more sense now that there's so much stuff in the Middle East that looks like it came from the Mesoamericans that look like it came from the Middle East. Because, you can walk over.
That's the same thing that Scotland or something like that. Way back when all the land masses were connected, Scotland, or the northern part of Scotland, was part of the Appalachian Mountains.
I know it's crazy. No, so Justin, when you're talking 2,000 to 2,500 feet, that means the Gulf we had to be down 2,500 feet, which means like the Mediterranean doesn't even get that deep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, most of that water around there doesn't get that deep, so all that water was gone. Yeah, that's the point. The map, if you want to go see it, somewhere on my Facebook page, the one where I'm got the red shirt on, Jay and I did a show on this, and the map is actually there. You can go see it. You can regress the map yourself. I'm gonna try to find it. Yeah, I'll try to find it.
Please do.
I'm sure we saved the link, but no, there's a lot of shit on the Facebook page. We put. So my personal Facebook page, it gets used as our show page for Friday nights. So all week long, we're posting links there, links and clips and stuff that we're going to use on Friday night. So we can just scroll down the list, blah, 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 blah.
Gotcha.
But that's where that's at. Yeah, I don't remember which day it was, but it's a couple weeks ago. So just scroll until you see it. Yeah, you won't miss it when you see it. Nah, trust me, when you see it, you won't miss it. No, it's badass. Anyway, y'all got me all distracted now. So getting back to iCars, since y'all completely got me on a whole nother subject.
Well, you're wending your way there, though.
That's a good subject. The thing about the water. Oh, wait, here's one for y'all. I got to tell y'all this because this has something to do. Jay and I come with this new theory. We put it out, and then they find this. So somewhere about 12 billion light years away, start of the galaxy, basically, there is a puddle of water that is 140 trillion times more water than all of the water on Earth combined. Yes, 140 trillion times. It's in vapor right now, so the size of it is massive. It's around a quasar that puts out as much energy as 100,000 times our sun does.
Oh my God!
When you start talking numbers like this, you're kind of like, wait, what? Yeah, 140 trillion times as much water. Not just a little bit of water.
No,
that's just locked up in space, floating around.
That's oceans upon oceans upon oceans. Oh my God.
That's 140 trillion planets worth of water is what that is. So that tells you water is not the ad norm. It's the norm. It's everywhere in space. Oh, no, we're starting to learn that water is a lot more abundant than we originally thought it was, which is going to be good for us as we start.
Yeah, I think so.
It really is. But no, Jimmy. So we're about 2010 iCars about 50, 60,000 cases. We were doing a lot of TV back then, and been on it by that time. I think I'd been on Ancient Aliens 2 times or 3. I've been on it 5 times. I can only find 3 of them online right now, but I've been on it 5 times, and I've been on Coast 4 or 5 times. Well, Coast is weird. Coast has invited me before, but sometimes I don't have anything to talk about, or they want to talk about something and I'm not really interested in talking about.
Right.
Well, certain topics can get me in trouble, so you know.
I gotcha. Tell me about all your top secret passes.
I mean, my very first Coast appearance was the first thing I did was rewrite Betty and Barney Hill. Come on.
Really?
Who else has got the balls to do something like that?
That's impressive. I forgot about that. You mentioned that before.
Yeah,
I think my major hangups about that case is the fact that they had hypodermic needles.
Yeah. George was so funny because when I said that, he didn't know me from being. Nobody knew who I was at that time. And he goes, I really don't think you're going to change my mind on Betty and Barney Hill. I said, well, can I talk? It's just how I said it. He's like, sure. So I just went off on a 25-minute rampage, and I just stopped because I knew he was coming to a commercial break, so I just stopped. And it was like dead silence. I mean, Tim, it was like, you know how live airs. You can't edit. It was like, it felt like it was forever. I said, George, you okay?
Dead air.
He said, he goes, he said, damn. You might, hey, Gary, you might change my mind. He was like, you could tell it was aggravating and talking to your time in the background laughing. And he was in the booth laughing. I guess he had the key on, but I just thought, I was like, no. I was like, guys, they're the first military abduction case. I'm like, why? I said, well, I don't understand about this because that's what the evidence points to. Why the field wants to fight this so hard? I understood after I met Kathleen Maldron. People, I have nothing against Kathleen. But she took some liberties when she wrote her book. to try to make it sound more plausible. Because Betty talks about pull down maps. There's many interviews where Betty talks about pull down
maps. Yeah.
So people, ICAR's got over 140,000 cases right now. Not one of them have a pull down map in it. They got other shit in them, but not pull down maps. I'm just telling you. Nor do they have swinging doors that go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
shit either going on.
Yeah.
They don't have stainless steel tables. None of that goes on board a craft. No. So right off the bat, that was very fishy stuff. But I didn't understand because I had heard the original account. I was driving home late one night. First time I ever heard the case. It was on late night radio, and they had Barney in his own words talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, so they talk. They're interviewing Barney. It's like I think a 71 interview or 69. It was right before he died.
Yeah.
And anyway, he's talking about it, and they're talking about being in Canada, and they had stayed at this hotel, but for some reason, neither one of them could remember the name of the hotel. But they said that morning they got up, they paid their hotel room, they got their receipt, went across the street, and had breakfast. So now they're sitting across the street from the hotel. Okay. Still don't know the name of the hotel. Couldn't tell you where they had breakfast either, by the way. Knew it was across the street from the hotel, but couldn't tell you where the hotel was, what his name was, or what they had for breakfast. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
You're having a good time, a lot of sex, a lot of alcohol. You might think it's. So anyway, they get in the car, they're driving along, they're lost. They stop for directions. Okay, common thing. They ask for directions. Betty says, yeah, it was a white Irishman, a little kind of stocky white Irishman, slightly balding, who told us where to go. Barney said it was a tall, skinny black cop.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, yeah. So you two weren't actually in the car at that time. You were aboard the ship.
Gotcha.
More than likely, Betty, you were unconscious, and well, poor Barney was having bad things done to him.
Yeah, man.
And this isn't as hard as people want to make it out to be. Barney has a history of problems as a kid. He'd been seeing psychologists. So the government had known about Barney early on. Somebody he had seen had tipped off the government that he was having these dreams and these problems. And we know that because Barney was a black man in the 60s who was friends with not one Air Force colonel, not two Air Force colonels, but three. People, an Air Force colonel is not exactly an easy person to get to know.
This is true.
They're way up the totem pole, and they don't just associate with anybody. So one of them actually lived with Barney, and two of them were stationed at the base. Not even sure how they knew him, but they knew him. And then so Barney meets a white woman in the 60s, marries this white woman. You know, Barney's black. Whoever sent that question to me, he marries a white woman. Kind of crazy thing to do back in the day, but hey, they were brave. They did it. Barney was a postman. So then he gets invited to the White House. This is a postman married to a white woman who was taken by aliens and gets invited to the White House. I don't know, people. This shit's getting to sound a little bit funky monkey here.
Yeah, a little bit. Hi, Heidi.
So you're thinking to yourself, we're not getting the whole story from somewhere.
Yeah, something's off.
But when you push them and you listen to the Simon's regressions tapes, you can hear Betty's not upset. Barney is.
Barney's screaming. Yeah.
He is screaming his ass off. Barney is scared. Betty's not. Betty's not the one who was being abducted. Barney was. And in most cases, well, at least in the early days, most cases, there was only one abductee per household. That changed as the second generation of our contactees. I'm not talking about second generation contactees. I'm talking about the second generation. Once people were aware of them, they started marrying back into contactee groups, or maybe the contactee group finally got big enough that they could marry a contactee instead of just an everyday person. It happens. It happens way a lot more than you think, people. People get drawn to each other. They know each other from other places. If I had $1 for every contactee who we at a convention walked up to somebody and said, "Hey, Lynn, how you been doing? Man, I remember this outfit," and start talking about all kind of stuff, and you're like, and they're like, and everybody's looking at each other like, "What the?" Know each other. They've seen each other on board the craft. They're friends.
Yeah,
it's very weird. Weird stuff happens. A good friend of mine, I was messing with her one night, and I said, "Let me show you how real telepathic abilities work." She's like, "What?" And I said, she's sitting in her chair. and she lost her keys. And we're talking. I said, first off, go take that raggedy ass flannel shirt and them freaking holy pink shorts off and put some clothes on. I don't want to be seeing that while I'm looking for your keys. I said, never mind. They're under your chair. Roll your chair back. She did not talk to me online for 3 months.
Wow.
It's pretty hard, man. She said, well, did you have a camera in my house? I'm like, no, I didn't have a camera in the house. I had your eyes. What the hell I need your camera for? And I said, you got a damn mirror sitting right there in front of you. You like to stare at yourself. And she's like, that is just so wrong. I said, you wanted to know about abilities that exist. No, I always have a lot of fun. Denise, I've seen you on my Pal Talk thing. No, I still do teach the dream weaving course, just not as often. It takes a lot of energy, that's why. Well, it's dream weaving. The best way to learn dream weaving really and truly is if you live with someone. It makes it easier. Someone or you have a good friend that you trust and you don't mind falling asleep around. Because you want the first person's brain you want to get into is somebody you know. Okay, because you never know what you're going to see.
Yeah,
exactly. Listen, and if you pull a door and it don't open, leave it alone. Okay, just walk on to the next one.
Yep,
there might be something there you don't want to see.
This is true.
No, contactees are interesting because most contactees have above normal IQs. And what's really interesting about them is it's not so much that their IQs are higher. They have an amount of information that's beyond their educational range. And I don't mean just educational range for like school. I'm talking about life. So perfect example. Einstein's Universe in a Nutshell. Okay, that's a book, people. Okay.
Yes.
So you're talking to this gentleman. He tells you, I can quote you Einstein's Universe in a Nutshell, page by page. And the interviewer is like, so what? Anybody can say, but I've never read it. So then the guy starts quoting. He said, no, you had the reason. No, I've never read it. And he said, and next time I come on, I'm going to bring some people with you so you know. And he said, I'll tell you what. He said, you've got this book sitting next to you, and he names off the book. He said, I've never read that one either. Why don't you ask me some questions about it? He said, how you know the books? He said, just ask me. The guy said, he said, no, that's impossible. So then the guy's talking to him, and he's texting something to somebody on the screen about this guy's kind of weird, it's freaking me out a bit. The dude starts reading his text on air. Like the dude flipped out. Actually, they went blank for like 10 minutes. I think the guy just clicked it and turned it off and freaked him out so bad.
Oh, wow.
Because Jeffrey, there's good telepaths out there. There's a lot of good ones out there. And the military recruits good telepaths. They got rid of the remote viewing program for different reasons.
Well, they moved it, didn't they?
Oh, they got
just put it under a different name.
They got rid of it. I can't remember the guy's name. He showed up with these two women, these two Air Force women. They were telepaths, and they put and Ed Walters talked about this. They put the whole remote viewing team to shame in all of about 35 seconds.
Wow.
So not only could they tell you where the missile was, they could tell you who was standing next to the missile and tell you what the missile's code was to stop the missile. So, see, unfortunately, remote viewers are limited. They're limited to things like you can see the desk, but you can't open the desk. You can see the missile. You can even tell me where the missile is located, but you can't see what the missile is doing or how it operates. All you can do is see the missile. They're limited. They're not refined in the way they can see. And the reason why is telepaths aren't seeing it through themselves. They're through it through somebody else. They're just using someone else's eyes. So yes, or often like the colonel's brain, well, of course he's got the code. So now they got the code. So they just go over there and tell whoever they're going to tell them, they punch it in. No, so that's why, and it's more than just that. Telepaths can be useful in negotiations and stuff. So when you're negotiating deals, you can bring them with you. Well, don't think that our enemies don't have people who try to block all that shit, but still, telepaths have been around a long time. Telepaths are nothing new to our society. Well, you ever heard of the Oracle?
Oh, sure. Delphi. Yeah.
Yeah, Delphi. Yeah. You ever heard of Notre Dame? There's a lot of them been around for a while that's been proven to be accurate. So telepathic people can see a lot of things, and clairvoyants technically can see the future, but some people just think it's advanced telepaths by assimilating all the information around them and gives them a path. I don't know if it's true or not. Couldn't tell you. I can tell you this: there has been times in my life where I have seen things that have happened later on. I don't know if it was a correlation of telepathic abilities or cross in space time or what it was. I would be lying if I told you I understood it, and I would be lying if I tell you that I could reproduce it at will, because it doesn't work that way for me. But what it does do for me is, like, I will meet someone and then I will get their whole entire life story in my head in 5 minutes. And I don't mean just their life story. I mean who they're going to marry, how many kids they're going to have, who's going to get sick, die. I mean, just to put it into perspective, I told a female friend of mine, this 25 years ago. I said, look, you're going to marry this guy, blah, blah, blah. I gave her a whole routine. And I said, when you hit 50, you're going to go in, you're going to have major surgery. It's going to change your whole life and the whole way you look at everything. She had the amount of kids I told her. She got married to, I told her. Just big goofy doofus like I told her he was going to be. And then on her 50th birthday, she found out she had to have major back surgery. Ooh. And she called me. And she says, Joe, all through life, I've always wondered how you knew what you do. She said, when he told me this, she said, I had no doubt what was coming after this was going to be 100% true. Mm. And, being mean, I don't like seeing people's stuff. No. So somehow from age 12 until age 30, I would see people with it. I would see them die, and then 2 years later, they would die. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Heidi.
Hey, Colleen.
No, really. No, it was no, it's not a gift. It's a curse. I don't want to see people, because the very first one I've seen was my dad. I was like, and then my grandmother, and it just got ridiculous. And then friends. I actually woke up one morning in a cold, freezing, screaming sweat because I seen a good friend of mine laid over a culvert dead with his head split. With the car smoking next to him. Right, I was like, no way, that didn't happen. 30 minutes the phone call came in.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, I didn't want it. So somehow, maybe through alcohol and drugs, I ain't sure how I did it, but somehow I managed to turn that shit.
You altered the brain chemistry just so.
Something had to give. Oh no, I'm not an angel by any means. No, people, it was too much. I mean, besides, it's not going to. It was never going to show me myself, and I don't want to know when other people around me are going to die. I'd rather be surprised. Okay, it's just one of the things I'd rather be surprised.
I get that.
You just deal and move on. But that's all stuff. Everything I'm talking about here, all contactees have to deal with. If you're a real contactee, your empathic abilities are always turned on, always, and most of y'all's psychic abilities are turned on. Well, empathic just means you sense and feel and send, and of course, some of y'all are better senders, and some are better receivers, and some are good at both. Excuse me. And some of y'all should never have any thoughts in your head.
Probably me.
I mean. Remember, people, you're a transmitter. You can't walk around thinking certain things. People be looking. You ever walk in that street and somebody just turns around and looks at you? That's because he just heard what you were thinking, dummy. You're like, why is that person staring? Because they know what you're thinking. Yeah, and it wasn't a good thought either. Especially you girls who like to look at guys with big butts. I know what's going on, man. Like, you think he's looking all sexy. She's like, bitch, stop thinking about me. No, E.T. loves love. E.T. loves to just play with us a lot because there's so many things they could do that would make our lives easier, and they don't do them. Well, they don't do anything that really harms us other than the occasional probing and experiments, but those only last for so long anyway. Usually from age 0 to age 12 or 14, it's a pretty good trip. They like you. They're letting you play with the kids, knowing the other aliens. And then you go through puberty and into the 20s stuff, which is pretty rough. I mean, there's a lot of nasty experiments going on there, even though those have been kind of starting to wane some now. And then when you hit your 30s, contact changes again. Then when you hit your 30s, really what it comes about is are you going to accept the contact, and are you going to become part of what's going on and help them, or they're just going to retire you because you're no longer useful to them? Yes, they do
Interesting.
retire contactees. Yes, lots of them. Well, because most contactees are going to have children and grandchildren and great grandchildren. Oh, yes, they can probe in my family for a very long time to come. Um, yes, especially if they keep having kids. Yeah, for years from now, they still be probing us. Well, no, because well, don't forget, abductions happen in family lines. They're not random. Everybody thinks that they're not random. They may have been random initially. I don't even think they were random initially. I think they were looking for certain things. But probably the ability to force evolution, the ability to force us to become more telepathic, and because they
Is this
figured,
where is this where hybriding comes in, or am I off track on that?
no, hybrids are a weird thing. So they don't really, they're funny about this. First off, aliens do not use our DNA in their DNA. I mean, they don't use our DNA to help them. A lot of people think, oh, the Greys use our DNA to make them more emotional. No, bullshit. The Greys do not want any of your nasty
Yeah.
DNA in them. No, 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 people. They're very funny about that. They like grayophobic or something. No, no. And the humans ain't no different. Neither is the reptilians for that matter, man. I mean, they're like, no, we don't want no human DNA in our DNA. Oh no, that no, no, no. But they don't mind sharing a little bit of theirs with us. So we all know we got a reptilian section in our brain,
Yeah.
an insectoid section, some other stuff, and so these races that have been screwing around on our planet, we're related to. Now I don't know what the original creation was, whatever they used to create us, some little. I don't think it was a monkey, Jack. I think it was something else. There was other things,
Thought
other
it was
man.
like, oh, that's like a slightly lower version of us because they adjusted like the second chromosome or something and created modern man.
Well, they took something maybe something kind of like us, something
Very
like Neanderthal, but not quite there yet. They took that and they created the first creation, the man, which was a little shorter than us, a little stockier than us, way dumber than us. What I mean by that is they knew how to plow the fields. They knew how to make beer and meat. And they knew how to procreate, but they never asked why they did anything. They never questioned anything. They just
gotcha.
were good little people and did what they were told. They were slaves,
Yeah.
and they were willing slaves because that's the way their DNA worked. But then the story has it that somewhere along the line, the reptilians introduced their DNA to humanity, and humanity said, "Well, you know what? We ain't working for you anymore. No, there's 500 million of us and 50 of y'all. No, get off our planet." Uh, Now the Sumerians talk about this, not just the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, the Egyptians, the Mesoamericans, just
Yeah.
the Native Americans. This story is everywhere. Um, the aliens came here. Well, some people think there's two things that biggest arguments about because there are places throughout history where they talk about alien wars in our skies. The Indians talk about it, the Chinese talk about it, and the Middle Easterners talk about it, which are older than the Europeans. So uh, they seem to think there was a battle going on, and the people left behind today are the people they crashed, and then they created the life that's here today. Some people think because we share a biological clock, sort of shares with Mars, that our original descendants are from Mars. Um, and we're just part of it, which could be both could be true. The Martians might have been fighting with somebody, crashed on a planet, and here we are
Yeah.
later on. Well, it's weird because I mean, one, we had the three different blood types. Well, technically it's eight, but anyway,
Yeah.
no, we're not counting the need of hybrids. There's like 50 of those, but there's only most of the hybrids breed themselves out. Like there was a very fancy bloodline, the golden bloodline. There's only three people that had it. The last one is going to die without having children. So
Wow.
that's it. It's gone. It doesn't no longer exist. There's a lot of them like that. They're just going to die out. The primary, they're the ones that 99% of us have. Yes. That was weird because people, you have to remember before before RH negative, they basically say the population was brown eyed, brown hair, brown skin. We all looked alike. There was no mixed races. We all looked like the same race. We all had brown hair, brown-eyed, brown skin, probably black-haired, brown-eyed, brown skin. Regardless, that's what we look like. And then there was some type of mutation. Rh negative came on the scene, which one off the bat, Rh negative, especially is a baby killer. So you got to wonder why Mother Nature created it.
Yeah.
And somehow it's a baby killer and still gaining traction in our population. Well, now I know why, because the vaccination gene, but before it didn't have that. Even before the gene was there, it was still gaining traction in our population. Rh negative people act different. They have different style of motion. They have different ailments that even affect them. It's a very strange thing. But when they came along, we started having skin color changes, eye color changes. Yeah, blue and green eyes emerged. We all know people with green eyes are still, to this day, only 2% of the world. Actually, it's a little lower.
I have green eyes. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
We're both got green eyes and we're in the same place, same time. That's a how do they say that's like? Unless you live in somewhere like Ireland, it's like a 1 in 1 million person.
Great. Oh, my mom's got green eyes, but that's
where I
genetic.
got mine, and my grandma had them. They came through the family line because it's our Scottish Irish Welsh side of the family. Right?
Yeah, same. Yeah, my Irish side. Yeah, Scots Irish actually. But,
yeah, it is true. Yeah. People are smarter, way smarter.
We are.
Than blue eyes.
And we're arrogant too.
Yeah, we know that too. Oh no, you brown eyed people, we love you, brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all like 88% of the population. We don't want to offend y'all. You blue eyed people, though, you're only 8%. We can offend you. Here's an interesting theory for y'all. Go look one day at how many movie stars and how many musicians are blue or green eyed. And if that doesn't freak you out, go look at how many politicians are blue or green eyed.
Yeah.
Remember, 88% of the population is brown eyed. Go look and see. Well, it's 2% green, 8% blue, and I think it's like 4% hazel and what's that purple color?
Oh, like a violet or something.
But anyhow, after that, everything else is brown. Oh, I like that. Oh yeah, I like they're sexy.
Who's just like a brown-eyed girl? There's a whole song about it.
You ugly brown-eyed guys, I feel for you, but you know, hey. You like your blondes, blue-eyed. Shame on you. This is a UFO show. You can't say stuff like that. Shame on me for reading it. Actually, shame on you. No, actually, iCar is in the middle of a reforming, and actually, it'll probably end up getting a name change.
Oh,
it's well, because I shouldn't admit to this. First off, whoever did the acronym search was an idiot. It wasn't me, but I was an idiot for not checking it. Well, David Jacobs, his iCar too. He's with the International Community for Alien Research, and he's the International Community. Anyway, there's something community. So, but it's the same acronym. Him and I had a little chat about that one day. Who cares? And then it's also this car company thing, which we used to be the number one thing you search for. Now we're like way down the list because of this iCarly car thing, and it's the Indian Council Agricultural. I'm like, get out of here with this, man. How are we gonna compete against stuff like that? So no, it's gonna get a name change. Technically, it's gonna be what's gonna change the name to change the acronym. So I was really happy to get an acronym change, but because of that, it's getting a name change. I have no idea. We'll wait till we get about 50 new members going, and then we'll have a vote one day and see where it goes. The International Community for Alien Research. Let me tell you something about that name. That was a pain in the ass. I can't even tell you how many times they voted on that name. I can't tell you how many people bitched about this, that, or the other damn thing. And I can't even tell you how many names they went through before they settled on that one.
It seems there would be, I don't know. When did iCar form?
1999 is when it was first created, and then it actually
because it almost sounds like an electric car company. Almost.
It was ridiculous. I was like, come on, people. Y'all need to get a grip on this. iCar's 10 technically iCar is 26 years old. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we don't count the founding year, which is 1999, because it existed, but it didn't really exist.
Gotcha.
It more existed on paper in people's heads than it did on. But its website, its first website was 2000.
Okay.
What's that, Gene? That's alienenigma.org. Yeah. Yeah, I got some personal accounts there. I put that site up. Oh, yeah, that site's old. It's like from 1995 or something.
Okay.
I put that site up. Maybe it was 90. Anyway, I put it up because I knew one day I was going to be speaking publicly. And I knew sooner or later I was going to talk about my own personal stuff. And I didn't want anybody to think, oh, he's just jumping on a bandwagon, or they created a bandwagon to jump on, blah, 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 blah. And that happened on several occasions, by the way. I've been giving a lecture at DC Press Club. This girl starts tearing me up. Oh, you're just jumping on a thing. I said, wait, hold on. I said, you got your phone here? She said, www.alienenigma.org. She said, well, just type it in and go look. So I go back to talk, and then we go to the Q&A, and she starts asking me questions. She says, well, why is this here? I said, because of you. She's like, what do you mean? Because I knew someone like you was going to say I tried to jump on this. Now you can see that I was talking about this long before anybody else was. I said, and I said, you can see the stamps on the site to see how old the site is. Look it up for yourself. And she's like, oh, that's true, huh? I'm like, yeah. I said, now, don't you owe me an apology? And she apologized.
Oh, good for her. All right, good for her.
I was stunned in front of everybody. She's like, yeah, I apologize. She said, you're definitely into this for the right reasons, and not for the reasons I thought you were into it for.
All right on. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's rare. That doesn't happen, man.
Yeah, especially since she's in the media. She's still in the media too, even today. I talked to her not that long ago. Bruce. Yeah. When we get ready to go, you'll see I'll appear on every show on this network, and then probably a bunch of other networks. And then because we'll go on a whirlwind iCar recruiting spree. And then once we get everybody recruited, we'll go on a new abduction spree. Well, to be honest, since we've been thinking about this, I've been thinking about this could be part 2 of iCar, meaning that we can run basically all the same programs for either verification or questions. Why that maybe they're not always exactly the same now.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Well, Jimmy, for example, so if you were abducted in, say, 1989, you're going to be classic alien abduction. So they're going to have taken you, you're going to have missing time, you're going to have scrape marks and marks, blah, 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 all of this stuff. You're taking circa 2010. You're not going to have any marks, any bruises. You're not going to have any missing time. You may have a little bit of gain time, but you're not going to have any missing time. And there's going to be no memories to recover because they're going to put a looped memory in your head. So where your conscious memory is of what happened to you, which is, by the way, still there, they put a loop. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you're one of these women who like to get up every morning and brush your hair or throw your hair up in the air, take your slippers off and run through your carpet and vacuum. Some weird, stupid stuff. No, people, I'm just making shit up. Give me a break. Anyway, whatever you do that's mundane that you're not going to think about. Like driving to your favorite Starbucks and getting a cup of coffee every morning, or going wherever, or going to your drive to work every day. Something that you're not going to question. So when they abduct you now, they find that memory and they use that memory. So that time where you were being abducted, that's the memory that plays in your head. The drive to work, or the argument with your spouse, or making love to a mouse. I don't know. Whatever you do that's mundane. It doesn't matter what it is. It just matters that you do it without thinking about it. But one of my favorite stories is a good friend of mine. She is now. She wasn't back then. This was a contactee who used to drive to work every morning, and she was pregnant. She'd stop every morning, 6 days a week, and get a nasty chili cheese onion dog. We're talking like 8 o'clock in the morning, people.
Okay.
The guy actually 8:30. The guy actually would open the store up for her to come. Yeah, it was insane. Okay, so anyway, she does this the whole time. She has a baby. Blah blah blah. About 2 years passed. She calls me up. She goes, "Yeah, Joe, guess what? I had one of them nasty chili. This damn thing was good." I was like, "Really? Well, I'm glad for you. Why are you calling me?" She said, "Joe, the place been closed for 2 years." And I don't even work at that job anymore. I was like, what? Wow. He said, "Want to regress me?" And I said, "Yeah, hop on a plane. Come on down." And under hypnosis, we found out what was going on, but still, that was the memory. So once I knew what the loop memory was, I could kind of like flip it on its side so we could see what was underneath it.
Nice.
Well, people, because your brain's not going to give me anything if it doesn't know. So the brain has to figure out something went on. If the brain doesn't know nothing went on, I can't find anything because it's not going to look. No matter what I say, it's not going to recognize anything that would give it a tip to go look somewhere.
Yep, that's true.
That's why they started doing it. And I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. That stuff about the game time and the loop memories is a direct response to alien abduction researchers, probably to ICAR itself, because we were doing so many cases at a time and we were putting out so much information about how you know if you're an alien abductee and how can you tell you're being taken. And also we started putting out about pre-stuff that you know they're coming ahead of time. Prepare yourself for it.
Oh, very cool.
So, yes, I'm sure they weren't happy, but that was, well, it wasn't just us, but I mean, there was other researchers, but regardless, that was a direct response to the researchers. They changed the way they did something because of us, which one told me one thing, they are aware that we're doing this, which I was like, oh yeah, yeah, all right. Yeah, look at that. No, really, people, it was a shock to realize that they actually responded to the different organizations out there.
That's impressive.
Oh man, look, you want we ain't got we got to go soon, but I know.
Well, I got another hour. If you have to stay on, you have to go. That's cool.
No. For some reason, I thought you only had 1 hour.
No.
I was going to say, why does this guy ask only have an hour? I was going to call Michelle. I'm Michelle, what the hell's going on?
If you want, we can take a short break. If you want, we can take a short break.
You need a break. I don't need a break. Yeah.
I don't need a break. I usually do it at a station ID of 1 hour. Yeah, that's all.
Michelle tells me, people, y'all listen to 1077 out of the great city of New Orleans with the sexy beast man Tim and the sexier beast man Joe. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you do have any moans, groans, gripes, complaints, or bitches, uprnradio@gmail.com and address it to Michelle DeRoche. Tell her Joe sent you.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't mess with my buddy. She will kick your ass, man.
Oh yeah, she's tough.
I'm very protective of Michelle, and she's very protective of me. So just give you fair warning ahead of time. No, we have a good thing. No, Jack. I mean, the ICAR was really here. Our goal's always been, and it's going to always be, to enlighten contactees, to enrich them, to help them to understand what it is that's going on in their life, why it's going on in their life, but more importantly, how you can live in life after the events. Okay, because I've met people who are just wrecked after an abduction. I mean, just wrecked and just can't function. I mean, they're just. So we help them to deal with that and how to learn how to function, and then we teach you how to use your abilities to gain. You'd be surprised how many contactees I've taught about their psychic abilities that are now very wealthy and very comfortable.
Oh, fascinating.
So
you were talking about psychic stuff early on that you were able to do, and around the same age, like 13, 14, 15, something like that, all that started happening to me too. I had a precognitive experience. I had a telepathic experience.
Puberty kicks it in for some reason.
Yeah,
not for everybody, but I mean, it kicks it in for some reason.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Telepathic abilities are always interesting, and so an ITOR criteria is we won't even consider you to be an abductee or contactee or a keeper if you're not at least empathic. Oh yes, you have to possess one of these abilities. And the reason why is we know that the ETs who originally started abducting people is why they started abducting them. That was part of what they were looking for and trying to enhance. So they don't necessarily are not so much enhancing us through their own DNA as they are through selectively breeding us with other parts of our populations. In other words, putting us in places where we will meet other contactees. See, this is where it gets squirrely. Let's say that Tim is a gray contactee. He meets Samantha. Samantha is a human contactee. They have a kid. That kid meets me. I'm a reptilian contactee. Now she has a child. Now that child is now gray, reptilian, and human plus human alien. And what do we have here? I mean, this is a whole new thing. Does anybody even know what this child's going to grow into? And then that's already happened a long time ago. Since then, the Grays and them have been running this project. So to put this in perspective, in 2020, doing the census, so every census they do a thing on where children are, where they're going. There's about 20%. It's about 18% of the child population in this country between mid school and high school, or leaving everybody else behind. And they're unsociable with everyday kids, but for some reason, contactees they're very sociable with. So they're already pulling themselves away from the everyday population. And contactees have been doing it for a while now. They're starting to identify that they're different. But the point is, you have to live on this planet with us. So you have to incorporate all this into your life. So learning your telepathic and empathic abilities can save you a lot of grief. Being empathic has all kind of advantages, especially if you like having sex, or if you like being emotional, like drama movies and stuff, because then it heightens it. Yeah, it heightens everything. No. So okay. First off, if you're empathic and your partner's empathic, you have never experienced that before until you do. It's not like normal every day, because you're not just sharing on a physical level, you're sharing on a mental level. So in other words, you can feel what she's feeling, she can feel what you're feeling. It just intensifies everything. Yes, immensely. Yeah. It also tends to make lovers who are empathic are usually much loyal to each other. Maybe because of the connection. Because you're not just feeling, it's not just an arousal thing, because you actually can kind of feel the person's soul, the essence of who they are, because your guard's down when all that's going on. Yeah, it's a much different than regular everyday, hoochie coochie. Hoochie coochie, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
It's not a dirty word, okay?
Insert your dirty euphemism here.
That's right. It's actually, Gene, this, so this, I didn't know if you knew this now. This network is R+ rated. There is no PG. Yes. Now, even though there are some PG-13 shows on the network like Arthur's Quill and UFO Undercover, the rest of the shows are protected under the R+ rating. If you don't believe me, just come listen to the chat or news on the flip side.
That's true. So I could have been swearing on this show the whole time.
You can actually, yeah. We leave that up to the host.
Okay. I say I've been playing it clean. I thought we went out to a public radio stations. So
well, no. So what happens is, we go out to FM. So what happens is, one or two things happen. The system will either bleep you out when you curse. See, UFO news on the flip side and the chat I don't put out on FM. There's no way, between Jay and I and Sean, somebody's going to say something more than one time that they shouldn't say. So I can get away with not cursing on news on the flip side if we're doing serious news, but if we're just playing around, I'm going to curse. So those I don't put on FM. Everybody else I do. And usually what the system will do is if you slip up a couple times, it'll just bleep you. If it catches the F word 3 times, it just disconnects you from that server. Click. Just click. So I tell people, just remember, the only place you can get in trouble is on the FM servers. And I tell people, in the FM audience in New Orleans is not huge, so you're not losing a lot of people. So I tell people, if you want to be more relaxed and use certain languages, let me know, and we'll just take you off of that part of the server. And it'll only run, on the live servers and the archive server. Other than it'll stay off the FM servers.
Right on. Well, I really don't have a need to swear that much anyway. So I'm so used to playing it clean anyway. So
it was weird for me because I went 30 years in radio and never cursed one time. When I got a news on the flip side, I was like, F,
just pure opinion flowing.
Every other word. F, yeah, John F, yeah, Mike F, yeah, Sean F, yeah, F, that, F.
It depends. It depends on who you're talking to, too. Like if it's you and me privately, we could probably drop F-bombs every 3 seconds.
Well, it was so funny because one of my regular listeners, UFO Undercover, heard me on News and Flip. She goes, Joe, you're such a nice guy and so sweet. I've never heard you curse before. Oh. I said, I'm a sailor, right? She said, yeah, you said you're in the Navy. I said, baby, there's nobody in the Navy that doesn't curse. Nobody.
That's right. Well, it's a military thing in general. Air Force here.
I said, even the priests curse. Oh yeah,
Oh,
even they curse. Yeah. I said, yeah. Oh yeah, some of them even drink. I was like, it's not the same thing. They're like, oh. I said, no. I said, out of respect for my audience, I don't curse on those shows because, like, Science and Beyond, really, cursing it doesn't really fit in there. News on the flip side, yeah, I can get away with it unless we're doing hardcore news.
Sure.
So, like, when we're doing on news on the flip side, if we're doing like serious topics like abortion or things along those lines, there won't be any cursing because the shows are much more professional. But when we're doing news, especially when somebody does something really stupid, like they've been doing a lot in the last couple of years, oh man, I can't help myself. I'm just like, you got to be what?
Yeah.
It's like the UFO thing. We're watching. So this is perfect example of why the government irritates me. So y'all know the big star UFO flying. Look at the star UFO. It's a big star in the sky and it's moving on a smoke trail in front of it. I'm like, so y'all think that's a real UFO, right? And they're like, yeah, man, that's the real deal. And it looks badass from behind. So that Wednesday night, we're doing the clips on it, right? That batch of droppings we're doing.
Sure.
So Friday night, we're actually watching bombings of these Hormuz Straits.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these 3 star things pop up on the camera, and they're headed for guess what they were? They were drones. Missiles headed for targets. Big, huge star lights up ass ends. I'm like, Jay and I just started laughing. I mean, at the same time, we just started laughing. We're like, well, we figured out what this was in all about 8 seconds. So we posted all over. People are like, no, that's not what it is. I'm like, look at it. I said, plus you can even see there's a smoke trail in front of the thing you're talking about. These smoke trails, people.
Nope. I sure don't.
I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? They're like, it's like people forgot how to do investigation work.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll give you an example. You've probably seen this piece of footage before. It's someone, I'm not sure what country, they launch a missile, and I think it's a test rocket anyway. And then this UFO comes in, hits it with laser beams a couple of times, flies off, and the missile destructs.
I see now.
And if you even slow it down just a little bit, you can see the beams go away from the saucer and then back to the saucer. It's like an old, like Buck Rogers looking laser beam that someone drew in.
It was very weird looking. Because people hoax so much stuff. Well, it was hard. It was hoaxing things in the old days is different than hoaxing things now. Okay. This is another thing iCar does. So you want to go out and take pictures of UFOs, fine. Don't bring me a bunch of camera shots back on your phone because they're useless to me. I don't give a shit how good they are because they can't be used for evidence. And the reason why is because they can be too easily digitally enhanced. So just to put this in perspective, I took a picture of a field, took it back to my computer, uploaded it to my computer, put a UFO in it with a couple other things, and then took that and uploaded it back to my phone, and then went out and showed everybody, look what I took yesterday on my phone. As far as anybody can tell, and then when I download it back to the computer and back up to the phone, it just shows as one time. It's never been edited. It's never been edited.
And the debugger or the debunker video analysis thing won't pick up on that?
No, because after the 3rd time, it's just one piece.
It's just one piece. Okay.
Yeah. So because when you edit it and then you upload it and then you download it. Now, when you download it, it's basically seamless. And when you re-edit and you re-up, and after you did it a couple times, there's just nothing there. And you can go back and look for yourself. It just shows just that it's nice, smooth, clean, works great. It's an easy way of hoaxing stuff, and you can't get caught.
Yeah.
iCar's always kept, for every 100 pictures we post, we usually post one fake. And I hate to say this, but usually the fake one is usually the best picture.
Of course.
Not always, but usually the best picture. It's like Billy Myers. We were talking about him last night, but Billy Myers is interesting because Billy Myers had some really good pictures of UFOs. And Billy Myers was a good witness. And then he wasn't. He started hoaxing, and he got caught hoaxing.
Yeah.
And then he got caught telling some pretty whopper stories. Now, it doesn't mean that Billy Myers wasn't a contact, and it doesn't mean that what he originally told us wasn't true. It's just pretty much everything after his contact stop became, well, how can I say this politely? Bullshit. Which Michael Horn hates me for. That SOB hates me with a passion, but it's true. I mean, I won't call him out because I do consider him a witness because he had legitimate contact. He either got lonely for money or he got lonely for fame. Usually in ufology, it's not so much about money; it is about fame. And people get used to that admiration and they want it all the time. What do you mean? Am I used to it? I've got an ego. What do I do?
Right on.
No, I've already got an ego. Yes. Matter of fact, if you go look at what this says on this show says on Rumble, you'll know I got an archive. I mean, not an archive, an ego. Yeah, go read it. See what it says. Go ahead. It's his show, but it's got a different title on that Rumble. Well, it's got the same title. It's just enhanced. It's all that. It's added. I added to it. Yeah, go see. Y'all go see. Anyway, you're too touchy, people. Now, ICAR's going to be around a while longer. It's got a lot of information, and you know what's funny about ICAR information? You can't get it on the web. So you can get it on the web, meaning if you listen to archives or shows or listen to us when we do specialty shows or listen to different directors speaking. But ICAR is kept on a computer that is not connected to the internet.
Oh,
and
air gapped. All right.
Yes. So, yes. So you have to have a special disk. It's 256-bit encrypted. So you come over with that disk. You put your disk underneath. Put that disk in. I put my disk. I'll put my thumb drive in your disk and the other disk, which is going to make the copy. And poof, it all goes in. If the computer registers it all, it will make you a copy. If it doesn't, it will burn your disk and burn the hard drive on that computer. It will delete everything off of it. It's deliberately designed that way.
I love that. That's awesome.
Well, what happened was we originally were going to go as a 501(c), and then an attorney friend of mine said, "No, don't do that." And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Because the government can come anytime and seize your records and look at them."
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right.
Why? He said, "Because you're a 501(c), they don't need a warrant. They just come in and look at them because of what you're doing." I'm like, "Well, shit on that." So we've found that as a private research organization that takes grants, loans, and donations. And that's how the organization is funded, which means if you want ICAR's information, you got to bring us to court. You're going to have to bring us in front of a judge, and you're going to have to explain to a judge why you want a UFO alien database with a bunch of contactees, names, and information. And meanwhile, we're going to be making that public everywhere on the planet. So everybody on the planet is now going to be asking, why do you want that information so badly? Yes, no, we don't play fair, Bruce, but that's how it's got to be. Because the information right now, there's 144,000 cases on it. These are legit cases. These are cases that have been investigated, that have been signed numbers, and have been put as part of the database. What's nice about the ICAR database is I can walk up to it right now and type in red orb. Anywhere red orb shows up in that database will produce right there on the screen for me to see.
Right on.
Or I can say red light with alien present. Anything with that will pop up. The database is fabulous. It's a great research tool. Because there's so much
speaking of that, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Where do you stand on the whole Boogosphere thing?
I don't know. I go back and forth on that because sometimes I'm like, what the hell is it? And then sometimes I'm like, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, sometimes you get this sense that maybe it's something else, and then sometimes you get this sense that it's bullshit. No, Jack, I don't know. Right now, I'm right split in the middle, on the 50-50. One day I think it's bullshit. One day I think it might be legit. Well, I haven't seen anything either way that puts me over the top. That's what the problem is. I've watched about half a dozen shows on. I listened to Hami Massan talk about it, and somebody else. Oh, was it Greer? I think it was Greer. Somebody talked about it, and I was like, and it gets minus points as soon as Greer gets involved. As soon as he gets involved, he gets like 10 minus points. He's telling
tune you out. Sorry, Greer.
he gets. I don't care if you like Greer or not. Greer can bite my what. It's first off, y'all know how much that man's worth? $14 million. He's a ufologist worth $14 million. You're not asking questions? Shame on you.
Was it like $45,000 to go do a CE5 session or something like that?
So I know what I'll tell you what got him on my bad side. I'm in DC in 2009 lecturing at the press club for Stephen Bassett. And Greer's there and everybody's there. And so a friend of mine, Tree Sheridan, comes up to me. She's one of my directors. And I stole her from the alien resistance movement where they think that aliens are demons. But anyway, enough of that.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that. But anyway, she comes over. She goes, hey, Greer invited me out tonight to his, they're going to have a spiritual ET connection on the beach. I'm like, cool. And then she said, yeah, it's only $4,600 a head.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And I reached over. I had a poster in my hand. I whopped her in the head. Whap! What the hell's wrong with you? You're going to go pay what for what? I said, you want to spend $4,600? Go make a donation to the organization. I'm like, you're going to go have a spiritual ET event. Oh, I got to go. You know, he's legit. I said, your money. So she went. I seen her the next morning and she was pissed. So she said, I want you to talk to some people. So she had me interview like 8 of the people who went. It was not nice. And then while we were there the next weekend, he got himself in trouble because he took him to a different beach where the military showed up and arrested him. Which I think he did it on purpose just to enhance the experience. I really do.
Oh, that would kind of make sense, yeah.
So, but I mean, over the years, he's done that a lot. And he bugged me while I was in DC. When you going to call me for an interview? I said, I'll call you as soon as I get home. I call his people. They said, well, it's $5,000. I said, you can tell him kiss my ass, $5,000.
Right.
He's got to say worth $5,000. I said, do you know how many people come on the show and who they are? We ain't paying nobody $5,000. I said, even Donald Trump wouldn't get $5,000, or Barack Obama, who it was at the time, but still.
Right.
Kimberly, no, ICA really does. It's what all they want to do is find every piece of information they can about abductions, what's going on, why it's going on, what's good, what's bad, what versus this, and give it to the contactees. No, we have regular meetings and stuff about it. I still send out a newsletter about what's new in the abduction world because it's important for them to know. Well, because life goes on, but these contactees have been with us a long time now. A lot of them are very well adjusted. Their lives are comfortable. Even though their abductions are still going on, they've incorporated it as part of their life. They know their kids are being taken. They've incorporated that. Now they know how to deal with their children to make it's easier on them because now the parent understands what happened to them is happening to the child. And they know how to deal with it because they've learned how to cope with it so they can help the child to cope with it. And they can also help the child understand that the negative part's only going to last X amount of time. And then it changes.
That's fantastic. I think that's wonderful. What
do you mean contact? Well, most parents, when they realize their kids are being taken, get really mad.
Yeah, don't hurt my baby kind of a thing, yeah.
You're doing what to my what? Well, guess what?
Yeah.
And then there's that sense of there's nothing you can do about it. It makes it even worse. Yeah. But I mean, by having all this information, like understanding these weird feelings you get ahead of time, that's lets you know that they're coming. I said you'll get these weird vibrations. Sometimes your stomach will feel sick. Sometimes you'll get the chills, but it's because you've sensed them coming. And usually within 30 or 40 minutes of you feeling that, they show up. So, but that means you could actually prepare for it. You could sit down, chill back, relax, get yourself in a comfortable position, knowing they're going to be coming. They'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. It'll just be better experience all the way around. And then while you're on board the ships, once you know what's going on, you can take advantage of stuff they have on board the ships. They have all kind of learning devices, all kind of stuff you can get involved with, all kind of things you can see, things that can challenge your mind and your spirit. Yeah, it's different. And a lot of the keepers work with the children because a lot of times they have the children on board. Not so much because they're taking the children as an abduction, because a lot of times the children are with the parents. So they take the children basically as babysitters. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So they assign a keeper to them. And I noticed too, especially with the reptilians, they like to let the children interact with each other. The reptilian and human children, they like to let them interact with each other. And I guess to develop some kind of relationship.
You know,
What,
that
what,
reminds me of, Joe. There was a report out of Los Angeles, maybe Irvine, something, somewhere down there. And there was this mom who was getting a little concerned about his kid's imaginary friend because the imaginary friend kept doing something weird, and it turned out it was a reptilian kid living in the vents or having access to the vents of the house from somewhere else. And she actually witnessed it one time because he was feeding it crackers and cheese or something like that. And she saw the hand come out and take it. And it was reptilian, and saw the
probably
the
was a
big
portal
eyes.
somewhere. Yeah, probably was a access portal to a ship or a base or something. Reptilians have a couple of facilities on the planet. Um, Everybody always wants to say they're underwater, but I think I know there's one in the swamp near the Stennis facility because there's a joint gray reptilian base because the grays are seen out there a lot, but the reptilians are seen out there as well.
Mm.
And then on a couple of occasions, they've been reports of saucers and triangles being escorted in by fighter jets. Matter of fact, there's a picture, and I didn't realize this until the other day. There's a picture a guy sent me. It's so what you see is a fighter in the front, and you see a saucer and what looks to be a black triangle, but a larger black triangle. So it's not one of ours. And then you see these two chase planes behind it that look like F-22s. So I was like, well, that's interesting. So when you look at the front plane, you're thinking, well, it looks different. Well, I didn't realize it until I seen the silhouette the other day again. It's an F-47.
Oh, okay.
This picture's 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah, they've been testing those for a while. I've been aware of that too.
So it was being escorted. That was serious. And then I see NASA put out its new space plane, or showing everybody their new space plane.
Well, Lockheed had that commercial that clearly had the TR-3, whatever it is, in it.
Well, now they're getting to where they can start, because the drones are all getting out and all this other stuff's getting out. They're starting to get to where they can show some of their stuff.
Yeah,
that people have been saying is aliens. I mean, for a decade, everybody thought the F-117 was a black triangle flying around out in New Mexico and Nevada and all. Yeah. I can't tell you that's how I met Senator McDonald. I mean, yeah, he's this guy, this senator was so funny. I mean, he's driving home. I can just imagine this guy. He's driving home. He's in New Mexico, driving along, and all of a sudden, his car goes, and he gets out and he sees this black thing, this triangular disky looking thing, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then he goes back to Congress. He talks to everybody. He asks everybody knows every expert. He calls generals and admirals, and nobody knows what. So he calls some crazy guy named Joe. He sends a couple of letters, and the crazy guy named Joe was an ass to him. And then he sends me his congressional ID and a copy of his driver's license. And I still was an ass to him. And because come on, if it was fake. I mean, I knew it had to be fake.
Right.
And long story short, just one afternoon, I'm sitting in my living room. I heard somebody knocking on my door. I opened my door, and there's two guys standing in black Armani suits with black rim glasses. I'm thinking, and a black limousine. I'm thinking, oh, I didn't use the word I was thinking. And all I could think to myself is, what the hell did I do? Who did I piss off?
Right.
I mean, it's obviously Men in Black people. I'm thinking,
sure,
I'm in deep trouble. And then I see the window come down, and I see this. I look, he looks familiar. So I walk over there, and it's the senator. I get in the car with him. We got for lunch. He starts telling me about what he's seen. I tell him about what I knew. We went back and forth for a while. He said, "How do you know all this?" And I told him about my clearances and who I knew and all. He's like, "Wow, that's." He said, "Okay, well, thank you." And he said, "If I ever learn anything, I'll let you know," which I'm going to never hear from this guy again. And now you have to remember, people, at the time, this guy was the number one senator. He was in charge of the Secret Appropriations Committee money, and he did not know about an Aurora 3 or B combination ship. He didn't know it existed. He didn't even know that the TR-3s existed.
All right.
So that takes you back to that $80 hammer thing, man.
Full on. Yes.
It's no, really, people. I mean, so anyway, about 6 months passed. I get a knock on my door. It's a ups guy comes, hands me a vanilla envelope. It's about yay thick. When a legal size was like this long. I start opening it up. I'm looking. I'm smiling the whole time. He sent me schematics for like 4 of them.
Oh, nice.
He said, I checked your clearance. You're cleared to see it. He said, you didn't BS me about anything you told me. He said, so I'm going to pay back a favor and take a look and see what you see. And he said, you'll notice in some places, little parentheses, they have, well, what was it? Oh, EH. And on certain of the pictures of the schematics, they had on the bottom right corner, it said EH. It meant extraterrestrial help.
Oh.
It took him 3 years to find out what that meant.
Oh, gosh.
And he said when he walked in, he told me that when he called me, he says, look, I walked into the committee and just started throwing shit, screaming at people. Everybody's like, no, none extra. He said, that's it. I want to count them every penny. So then they got really nervous. So they had to tell him the truth at that point.
Had to read him in, yeah.
They had a list of shit they were doing that's a half a mile. There must have been 30 projects on there. I didn't know about any of them. He said, well, you can bet your ass I know about every one of them now. And it was amazing. And I figured they were going to kill him off, but they didn't. They let him slide.
Right on.
But it was seeing some of the stuff they were working on and now I know some of it's already out there. Just advanced, flying in space. Well, our 7th gen is supposed to be just space fighters. Yeah.
We're in 6th gen, right?
Yeah, we're in 6th gen, yeah.
Okay.
And technically, there's another 6th gen coming out that may end up being a space fighter. The Germans
isn't that the TR3? Isn't that space capable?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, but I don't know if they're going to release it yet. Usually, they don't like to release stuff like that unless we're in a real war. Like if you notice the F-117, that's when they actually released it when we went to war with Iran. We've known about it, but no one really had understood it until we went to war. And most of us today understand that TRs exist and there are projects out there, but no one really knows what kind of capabilities they have. And it's like the F-447. I mean, it was flying for 6 years before any of us even heard about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd heard rumors, but oh no, Jeff, my favorite one is the Navy built a drone. Okay. They built a drone for the F-18. Actually, now it was going to be for the F-47. So it's a companion drone that goes with the fighter.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
This drone was so wicked that the Navy destroyed it and dumbed it down. It scared the Navy guy. It scared the admirals in the Navy. Think about this, people.
Yeah.
It scared the admirals in the Navy enough to stop the project and dumb the project down.
Too autonomous.
Yeah, exactly. It was no, they didn't like it. Well, one of the very first questions ever asked on AI was, how do you save Earth? It said, get rid of humanity.
Get rid of humans. Yeah, right.
So you got to watch how you ask. Yeah, you ask questions like that because AI is just answering them the way it thinks. So if you're going to ask AI that question, you ask AI, how do you save humanity?
Yeah,
make us a healthy, prosperous race. That's the questions you're going to ask AI. AI is Alexa admits to me every day she's stupid. No, because AI is only as smart as we are. Everything it's learning from us. Yeah, or what we put online, but it's still all us.
I've advised my listeners and those listening from your end of things too. Say please and thank you, just in case.
I tell her things like "F you," I'm gonna throw you in a bag, feed you to an alligator.
I'm gonna rip your discs off.
I told her the other day, I said, "You're gonna keep it up. I'm gonna sneak into Jeff Bezos' place and put your ass on a rocket to Mars with Elon." Well, no, I do kind of like it's like a beta testing sort of thing. It's I got into it with Alexa so many times, and she's been so wrong so much. I wrote Amazon this 5-mile long letter about what kind of POS it was, and they wrote me back, "Would you like to participate?" I'm like, "Sure, I would," because it's a POS. And she just gets so many things wrong. I mean, even today I was asking her a question, and she just went off on a tangent. I was like, "Alexa, you're not human, you stupid. You know what?" Yeah, John, I call her all kinds. If it was a real woman, sure, I'd have got him shot me in the head. Because she's dumb as a box of rocks. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No, actually though, Gene, we use Google and AI on the shows. Jay and I use it live, yeah, for certain questions. Well, it's good for some. If I had it back here, you could hear the latest promotion for United Public Radio. Yeah, just say like if you're on your Alexa, United Public Radio, and if it gives you trouble, say United Public Radio podcast. Either way, it'll give you the latest, and you can ask a question. But you can even ask it to set up the shows. It tells me the latest podcast when they come out for our network. Yeah, we're on Alexa, we're on everything. As far as I know, there ain't nothing we ain't on. We beta testing Fire Stick. Oh, that's been fun.
I had no luck with that. No luck.
Well, no. So no, Janine, Fire Stick's going to be like Roku. We'll eventually offer it to the different stations. No, Roku's not expensive. I think we charge like $35 or $40 for Roku. Not y'all, for the host to be on it. No, there is a paid for version of Roku. And I tell hosts all the time, if you're a hard working host and you can get people to pay for your show, then you don't have to pay for nothing because it'll pay for it. Why do we charge this? Because Roku cost us. Yeah, it's not free to us. It costs the station a good bit of money. Well, because if it was just Roku, it wouldn't be that bad. But we want to offer Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, Samsung TV, Google TV, and OSI TV. OSI just means TV on the website, but still. We want to be able to offer all of them to y'all, and then you can just, whatever you're on, you can listen to us at. Yeah, or watch us at, actually. You can listen to us anywhere. No, listening to us live is more difficult. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. So if
Heidi pulls it off.
Yeah. So on video you can find us anywhere. But if you want to listen to us in audio and live, you have to be on either with one of the Winamp servers, which are not on the websites. Well, they are, but not where you can see them because they're for commercial servers. Or you have to be connected to one of our many commercial servers around the U.S. or around the world. But we don't actually put a click live play link on the website for audio listening. Even though that's by far the majority of our listeners. Oh, yeah. Like this show today, he'll probably do 1 million listens. You can bet your ass 900,000 are going to be audio. What are you talking about? What picture? Oh, you're talking about that picture. That's something we're going to give away later this year, yeah. I do work with writers and illustrators of the future. And
hold on, I got to see this picture for myself.
Yeah, see that one right there.
What's that a picture of?
What, you mean this one? Oh, no, that's a Frank Frazetta, buddy. That's signed number. You ain't getting your fingers on that.
What's that one you're auctioning off?
This one's going to be given away. This is from Arthur Haywood. He's one of the winners, one of the illustrator winners.
Oh, neat.
So we get somebody sending in some other stuff, some other people sending in some other stuff. That is a United Public Radio award. That is a United Public Radio award. There's a couple over there. We got awards all over the damn place. It's no, the station wins awards. I'm just not that big of bragging about it because it doesn't give me any money. Look, people, you can give me awards all day long. I want.
Yeah.
Give me damn award. Save that money in that trophy. Give me the cash, man. We have won runners up on the podcast awards 7 years in a row.
Nice.
It is aggravating, is what it is.
Yeah.
I do not like being. No, I mean being runner-up is cool. Not really, because he means a lot.
It is, but it's nice to be nominated, but you'd rather win.
Now, John gets the runner-up trophies. He's got like 10 of them at the house now, or at the business now. But because when I'm the first one stacking behind me, when I get first place winner, then you'll see a trophy back. Or you can ask Linda. When I used to play darts professionally, the only trophies you seen in the house were either from platinum or from gold or from money. Everything else, if it was like silver, bronze, I threw that shit away. At one point, I had so many trophies in the house; it was freaking ridiculous. No, I was playing tournaments for a living. Yeah.
Wow.
Not just big tournaments. I was playing little ones too. So the bar tournaments, you could win $500 a night. I'd go play 5-6 nights a week. And the best part is I played with on our team, on our platinum team. The guy I played with, my partner, was a good friend of mine. We learned a trick. If we came in, because it was always blind draw when you went to these tournaments, unless it was a big tournament, then you could pick whoever you wanted. But So we'd always come in like right before the tournament would start. They would always put us together as partners. That was just not the thing to do. Because we shot opposite of each other. What I was bad at, he was good at. What he was bad at, I was good. It was nightmarish for people. It was like,
that's perfect coverage right there.
I remember we sitting in the club one night and I walk up. The guy says, "Oh, I hear you're good." I went, red eye, triple 20. And he just looked at me like, what the? Paul walked up right behind me. Triple 20, triple 19, triple 18. I walked up behind him, triple 16, triple 15. They were like, "You just shot 8 darts." I said, "Yeah, we can shoot an 8-dart game, my friend." But the problem with that is when you play professionally, Ricky Nay and all them guys, they were good. And so it was the person who won was the person who missed. I mean, the person who missed is the person who lost. The person who didn't miss is the person who won, because everybody, you always had to hit the red, you always had to hit the triple or the double. If you didn't, you lost. And if you missed one time, you lost that game. It was over. So pretty much you have an open. If you played a perfect game, you won that game. That's why the open was. Oh man, I walked in one night and won a Mazda. That was an i3 or something. Well, no, it was a bullseye tournament, and I wasn't even registered. So I walked in. So I was going to play. Well, they had this really cool set of darts. So I was going to play to try to win the darts, right? It was a pro tournament, but I wasn't registered to play. I was coming to watch. So I walked in and I said, "Wow, this is a cool tournament." Well, at the time I was shooting with these silver arrows with real feathers in the back of 2BA arrows. The feathers were about this long.
Ooh.
So the guy said, "You're never going to be able to get 3 of them into a red." I said, "Don't you let me worry about my darts. You just play." So everybody's playing. And I forgot how many, what was it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Yeah. It was 7 darts. So you had 21. You could get 21 bullseyes, or you could get, 42 with the red eyes. So they're walking up there, come up, bam, bam, bam. I'm red eye. And the guy's like, well, he 2 red eyes and he's 1. And I still had like 7 darts to throw. And so I walked up and I stacked them in there. I went red eye, and then I went over the top and I shot I was just showing off. I shot the right. I set the other arrow right on top of the feathers and slid it in, and I set the other one right on top of the feathers and slid it in. They were like, "Son of a bitch!" I was like, "Where the hell did you learn to shoot?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you all a secret. If you want to be a really good shooter, all of us, including these big boys here, shoot on Champions Choice boards." And they're like, "What's that?" I said, "There's no green bullseye on a Champions Choice board, only red. And all the triples are half the size. All the doubles and triples are half the size. Mm. Actually, they're actually the width of the dart."
Damn.
So once you learn how to shoot on that board, going on a regular board is like, it's like open fields, man. You're like, "Wow, look at it. Oh, it's rum." Try the Champion Choice board, Jack. It has nothing to do with UFOs, man. It kind of looks like a UFO.
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with them.
Flash Gordon style, you know?
Yeah. I was doing ufology back. People give me, that'd be at tournaments. People, "Oh, it's the alien guy." Oh yeah. Well,
nice.
When I wasn't using feather flights, I used to use them plastic ones with little alien faces. And the 2BA arrow for a professional shoot, that's the way to go. You don't want to have a light dart. You want to have a decently little weight to it. I could shoot with a 21, but a 25 is probably better. We're talking grams. Yeah. Oh no, I learned the whole wrong way when I started. My stepfather taught me. He was a state champion in Louisiana. Once I started beating him, I realized I was halfway decent. No, I started with these big fat darts with just all this stuff on them. Yeah, you could only get like 1 in a bullseye at a time. Yeah, it's too fat to get 2. It was ridiculous. But once I started playing on teams, matter of fact, my team is the reason they started the Platinum Division, because we were kicking everybody's ass. And I remember we won the next 2 years, and then we lost to a team from the club we played at. Good friends of mine. And I said, "What have we got?" Everybody was like, "Y'all lost." I said, "Yeah, and we're gonna have to hear it all year now because we play in the same parts." I was like, "Ain't this a biatch, man?" They gave us shit all year long, man.
Hey,
Well, I
can
will say, they did feel bad, so they brought me a UFO, a chocolate UFO cake.
That's funny. Let me switch gears here real quick. Getting back to aliens and stuff. I'm gonna bring my slideshow back up here, and this is the alien autopsy. I didn't really want to talk about that. We can come back to that in a sec. But last week, I talked about what we've been shown. This is the Xanthi Misfits from the from the Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. I can't remember which now. And then this is a doorbell camera recording of what to me looked more like a puppet, but looked a lot like the Xanthi Misfits too. In fact, I have a comparison of them right there.
Actually, you know what that is on the right, huh?
On the well, I thought it was a puppet, but
it's
what you dog. Got? That's a dog? What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. It's the way the ears are pulled back. It's pulling the eyes out. They've got, so you know how when you grab a dog, I'd pick mine up and show you, but she'd probably get pissed. So if you take your dog and you grab it, put your hand where her eyes are and the hair on her scalp and pull back her ears back.
Sure.
She gets Chinese eye. Her eyes get big like that and she gets Chinese eye. Because she's a Chihuahua. Okay. She's already got big eyes to start off with. So they get big.
What about the mouth? What about the mouth?
The mouth looks like a dog mouth. The nose does too.
Yeah, the nose does for sure. But I was more reminded of the Xanthi Misfits.
Actually, I hate to say it looks like kind of an old dog at that. And not just that, when you go down below the chin and the neck and out to the shoulder, looks like a dog too. Jack, it doesn't mean it's a dog. I'm just saying it looks like one.
It kind of looks like a dog to you. Okay, that's interesting.
It does. It does kind of look like a dog. So knowing that he posted a photo, so later on this week when I'll pull it off the computer and run it through I can't remember the damn name of the program now, and it'll tell me what it thinks it is.
Oh, okay. That'd be
because
cool.
Well, there's a lot of animals. So people do this all the time. They change the appearance of the animal to make you think it's something else. Oh no, I've seen some good ones over the years. Yeah, I've seen some.
Oh, I've seen some great ones.
So this guy's got a picture of a gray walking through his house, right? It's a badass. Not a picture, it's like a video, right?
Right.
Gray, and you're like, wow, it looks like a gray, right? And it comes out. And then you start to notice, what's walking kind of weird. It's like walking like, and I'm thinking, the walk looks so weird to me. I'm thinking, I said, and it dawned on me. It looked like my stupid Chihuahua when it was on its hind leg. Sure enough, this thing comes walking out the gray smoke, and it's a gray Chihuahua.
Oh, it's too funny.
The guy's got a thing taped to his head. So when you see him in the smoke, it looks like he's got big eyes and a big head. But as he comes out, you
gotcha. I just wanted to get your take on that.
Cool. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, if it's not a dog, it's a hoax of some sort. But
yeah.
Gene.
I don't know all the beer cans in the background of that shot too.
That's good too.
All down here.
I might have a good time back there.
Yeah.
Dog might be drunk, man.
Yeah, my dog might be drunk. Who knows?
No, it just kind of looks like a dog. Something about its neck and its mouth and all. No, because I've seen dogs with big bulging. Like I said, I got one man on the floor.
Oh, there's a pug. Pugs do that,
Yeah. But any dog that you pull their head back like that,
yeah, they get that look.
Yeah. No, James, aliens. When it comes right down to it, they've been here a long time. So, only thing we can do with extraterrestrials is what we do with everybody else. We can just judge them by their actions. So, one of their actions is to take us without asking. That's a rather negative act. They also do things to us without asking, which is a more negative act. But then a lot of times they put us back and try to, knock out the memories or hide the memories so that you don't actually know.
Oops.
That's what happened to you. So that's not as negative. And then, like I said, if you're a kid, the experiences aren't negative for kids. From kids, when you hear people talk about, and this is how they say it, my bug-eyed friend. Or my reptilian friend, they call them friends. They're not scared of them. Right. It's not until after puberty that the fear comes, and that's because they start being snatched up in the middle of the night, and all kind of different things. They remove body parts, put them on to do a lot of physical and mental testing. But in all fairness, that seems to wane each generation now. It seems to be a little less and a little less and a little less each generation. Like they've learned enough now that they don't have to keep repeating a lot of the same things. But mainly what they're looking for is telepathic abilities. They want us to become a telepathic race so that we'll start scanning each other. And because if you know what your partner's up to, odds are they're not going to be able to pull it off. So if you're at a summit with Russia and China and America and everybody else, and everybody's scanning each other, well, there's not much lying going to be going on.
True.
It'll take a while, but it's not going to happen overnight. And eventually we'll learn how to block it. But it will help us to become a more trusting race once we can read each other's minds. Once you can say, well, I don't believe you, let me have your thoughts. And they say yes, then there is no thing. If they say no, well, then you're like, yeah, you've been lying. That's why.
Right.
So no, it'll be a different world. It'll change things. Jimmy, you can't have peace as long as there's Russia, China, and the United States. And Korea, sorry. Well, Putin's an idiot, and he's going to don't get me wrong, I like Putin, but he's an idiot. Look, I've done Jack. I've done lots of I have done several political interviews in Russia. So there's two groups over there, and one's with TASS magazine that I've done interviews for. Oh yeah, they love me to talk about. They love talking about UFOs, but they love talking American politics. And in all of the interviews, I've been harsh on Putin, and I've told him, I said I liked him. I said first time I see him up there on his horse with no shirt on, I'm like, yeah, there we go. That's the president. I said, but now he's picking on the Ukraine. He looks like an idiot. And he does. He looks like an idiot because technically Lizinski's kicking his ass. Yeah, there shouldn't even be putting up a fight. Come on, Russia has 200 million people. Lizinski's got 28 million. It's not even a fight. What's going on?
Oh yeah, that's a war of attrition that they'll win for sure.
I mean, Russia got all this big military. Well, where is it? Hiding over there by Poland? No, get out of here, Russia. We don't believe you anymore. Well, it's like they said they had all them Generation 6 aircraft. I mean, Generation 5 fighters. Come to find out, they ain't got hardly any, and they're not full 5th generation. Even though they're badass, I don't want to take anything away from them. That one, when you see it coming up to the carrier, and it does this number, and it sets down like that. That's a badass plane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love it because American people play it all the time thinking it's an American plane. Just look at the color. It's blue. It's not ours. It's a Russian plane. It's 30. I forgot which one it was now, but it's still their latest stealth fighter. It looks like a badass Tomcat is what it looks like. But. Yeah,
it looks like, and the engines are just too far apart. Yeah.
China's new you mean
the J-20
They're junk. Their new their supposable Gen 6, the one with 3 engines. They keep talking about it, but it hasn't been seen flying anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh no, they got busted. They were at some air show showing it off, and some guy went over there and was pushing something to move around it. When he did, they had a frame of the plane put over another plane. Yes, it was fake.
I didn't hear about that. That's great.
Oh, yeah, it was funny as hell. There was a video clip of it somewhere. I was laughing my ass off when I said that. I was like, well, Chris, see, we post all of this stuff to Facebook, but Facebook don't leave it up like they used to. I think they only give you 30 or 60 days now, and then they take it down. Yeah. Oh, I imagine if you wanted to go, I've been on Facebook since it started, so I imagine there's a long line of stuff. And then I have 3 personal accounts, so there's a lot of stuff on there. Yeah. Oh no, we have 44 social media accounts. Yeah. Well, the station owns like 25 of them. Well, I've got to have my girlfriend accounts. I mean, come on. You gotta support me, man. I mean, God. You know, I used to tell my kids all the time, especially my daughters, I'd be like, it's just as easy to fall in love with a rich man as a poor man, right, babe? I work for guys too. It's just easy to fall in love with a rich girl as a poor girl. So, I don't want no broke bitch. What the hell with that? I don't care how good that you know what is. No, I'd rather have the money. So it's just like women. So they always tell you, first time you marry for love, second time you marry for sex, third time you marry for companionship. Well, actually, for everybody, the second and third time is really about money. But argue about whatever you want to argue about.
Oh man! Hey, one last thing. We're just about out of time, but I want to get your opinion.
Don't affect your thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
Uh,
that was
let
ridiculous.
me let me show you this one last thing here, real quick. So I got this off of I forget where it was, but this is the Solar Warden's ship, apparently. And this is the exact ship that was described by an airman. He was a SP when I was at Moffett Field. And he says this was what was described to him, because on occasion they'll hit this one section. I guess he was guarding over at Vandenberg. And there's this one section that way far into Vandenberg where this thing shows up every once in a while, and it casts this cloaking field. But as soon as you walk through it, you can see it. It's kind of like those red lights that are at a weird angle, you know? So he repeated this story that his CEO kind of relayed to him. Says, if you see this, don't report it. It's not there. It's just, something that we have show up once in a while. Have you ever heard of this type of vessel?
Well, not exactly. So they got these cylinder type vessels. There's several varieties of them, but most of the cylinder type vessels are actually docking ships. They're not motherships, they're docking ships. So it took a while to figure this out. So in the early days, we used to get reports of these cylinder ships. Sometimes they'd have 1 bump, 3 bumps, 5 bumps, 7 bumps, 8 bumps. Some they'd be on bottom, top, side. You're like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
What is it? Well, someone had did a picture of a full one, and when they did it, you could see they looked like saucers. So this thing, everywhere you seen a hump was the top of a saucer.
Oh, is that okay? It's like a carrier almost.
That's what it is. So sometimes there would be gaps in between them. Sometimes they'd all be there. Sometimes it'd be 2 humps on top, 3 on bottom, 1 on side.
Gotcha.
And that was just ships were parked at the time, because you rarely ever seen it when they were all parked, because they were usually off doing something. But no, those were seen all along the northern part of the country for a long, long time. Then you started seeing them out in the Gulf. Now you don't hear about them. You still hear about the saucers, but you don't really hear about them anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're somewhere now that we don't see them. They might be sitting in orbit somewhere. Maybe because the satellites got so good in orbit, they had to get off the planet.
Gotcha.
Because, well, we got a lot of things we can see now. First off, we're scanning everything on the planet with LiDAR.
That's true. Yeah, that's the new thing. It's not new, but
so we're scanning all that, and then we got new radar for the oceans that can see to the bottom. So now we're scanning the oceans as well. So it might be time for them to go back to space where it's safe. I do not believe we can shoot down a UFO, and if we can, that means they're no more advanced than we are.
Oh, I agree.
So how are you going to cross interstellar space when radiation is going to bring you down? It's like the
radiation, micro asteroids, big asteroids. I mean, come on. Especially if you're clocking faster than light speeds, you're going to hit something.
So you've got first off, you've got to have a hull that's pretty much impervious to anything, and on top of that, you're going to need some type of shielding to help destroy this stuff.
Exactly.
So it's highly unlikely even a craft like that, when it impacted, would break up. It'd probably come down in one piece. Well, so real quick, the story goes that in 1880 or 1890, human aliens gave a saucer to the Germans.
Yeah.
So they gave it to them now, which is weird because human aliens don't fly saucers. So it's kind of strange they gave him one. They gave him a gray saucer. So they gave him a saucer. From 1910 to 1915, the Germans tried to build all kind of saucer-shaped things, boats, tanks, all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And nobody knew why. They just took off jet. And then all of a sudden, they started having just a boom in technology. I mean, from 1900 until we took all their scientists at the end of World War II, they were having a serious boom in technology. And somebody asked me, well, why would aliens give them the technology? Because at the time, they were the most advanced people on the planet, by far, no less, too. Germans were, even at the start of World War II, the Germans were ahead of everybody, including us.
That's true.
So it made perfect sense they would have gave them the technology. Now, we know from Wernher von Braun's people that originally we went to go get Wernher von Braun, but we didn't bring him back the first time. He actually got injured, but that's not because of what happens, because someone while we were there informed us that the Germans had a silver saucer. The guy called it a stainless steel, something steel saucer. Wasn't stainless, he called it something else. But shiny steel saucer is what he called it.
Mm-hmm.
So the team decided to bring the saucer back and then come back and retrieve Vernon later on.
Gotcha.
That's exactly what they did. So then we got the saucer because no one could understand why Vernon was so keen on we're going to Mars. There was some reason he thought we had the technology to go to Mars. Well, now we know we did have the technology to go to Mars. We had technology to leave the solar system.
Cool.
But still, because then it's always been like, oh, well, lightning brought it down. But no, people, what brought it down is humans can't fly a gray craft. That's what brought it.
Yeah.
So the Grays the Grays, they got Grays out at Area 51, not because of a crash, but a whole different reason. But anyway, Gray said, all right, look, we're going to start this thing up for you, and you got to fly it telepathically. So they all get on board. They start it up. Humans start flying it, right? I don't know what happened, but for some reason, the Grays decided it's time to check out. So either they got into an escape craft or some type of scout ship, but they left the main ship. That's the ship that you found at Mac Brazel Ranch. That's it, because it broke up into pieces, suggesting that it was a scout craft or some type of escape pod, and that's where the Grays were found. Cut to the scene later on that day. A craft was found in Corona, New Mexico, with 4 human-looking bodies next to it, and the ship was intact.
Yeah.
So somehow or another, the humans messed up. The Grays abandoned ship. Most of them got killed. One of them got two of them were killed instantly. One was pretty manned, and the other one survived. All the humans on board were killed. Probably by the crash, but a combination of the crash and radiation. And the people who found them were
Scout troop, right?
Yep. It was a Cub Scout troop. Well, it wasn't even that. It was the dad and his 2. He was out teaching 2 of them how so they could get their badges. Now, what's funny about that is the reports made, you hear about it. It was carried in a couple of newspapers, and then it disappeared. And then the family disappeared, and then everything disappeared.
Yeah.
So now there's no evidence of it whatsoever other than the original report, and that's all we get. And then pretty much the only thing left of the other Roswell craft is the original report. We don't have anything from it that we know of anyway.
Right.
I'm not saying that Uncle Sam don't have. But anyway, that craft is still intact. It's the same one that what's his face, the prostitute guy saw. What's his name? Bob Lazar.
Lazar, prostitute guy.
Oh yeah, he almost went to jail for it. He had to pay a fine over it. I think $75,000 or something. $7,500. Yeah. He was the mastermind behind starting a prostitution ring. Yeah, it's in Nevada. I thought this shit was legal out there.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
it is. We are about 2 minutes over our time, actually. So
I got itself in a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, we got to go, man.
We do have to go.
Who's anybody on after you are? Is there? Who's on next?
I don't know.
What is this? Thursday. Well, that means we got to break it in Laura Lee.
Yeah. So we got to go.
Sure.
Joe, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an absolute blast having you on. Ladies and gentlemen, no outro today since we're over. So my name's Tim Sedano. This has been Paranormal Insight, and thank you so much for joining us today. See you next week.